It's the biggest little festival of Australian films, and now in its third year, the Dungog Film Festival has earned its place alongside bigger and more established festivals around the country. Not only does it provide a platform for filmmakers to screen their films, it also nurtures new talent through a series of workshops and masterclasses. Alana, it's the third year of the Dungog Film Festival. How are you managing to keep it all going and expanding?
With a lot of help. We've got lots of great help this year. We've got an amazing program. There's 140 films. It's now the biggest showcase of Australian film in the world, as well as the biggest short film festival in Australia. So yeah, it's grown and it's bigger and it's really exciting because people are really tapping into the whole Dungog vibe.
So what's the extent of the program with masterclasses and workshops, and what's their purpose?
Look, it's actually a really big part of the festival. What's really important about those is they actually inspire the up-and-coming filmmakers. We learn that actually, no matter how many years you're in the film industry, it's always hard.
What are your feelings about the film industry coming into a little town like this and taking it over for a weekend every year?
I think it's terrific. I think that this festival is just going to go from strength to strength.
Director Ray Lawrence is in attendance to introduce his 1985 screen classic Bliss, and while in town is taking time out to share his experience with emerging filmmakers. If there was one bit of advice you could tell a young filmmaker, what would it be? Know
who you are. I think understanding who you are is a great help. And if you're true to that, then you'll probably be successful.
Cinematographer Jeff Burton is another master of his craft, sharing his insights on creating the striking imagery of films like The Year My Voice Broke and Storm Boy. Jeff, as a cinematographer, what are your impressions of Dungog? I mean, is it a location to be sought after by filmmakers?
It's very appropriate, and what's the nice thing about Dungog is the surrounding ranges, so that you get the sense of it, you know, nestling in a valley. I mean, towns nestle, of course, as we know. And so you get really nice shooting angles here because the horizon is filled. So instead of the great emptiness, you get these ranges behind you.
What about the light? Is there a quality here that you're detecting?
At this time of day it is. This post-rain sort of late afternoon sunshine is very beautiful. And elusive though. I mean, it's hard to shoot in because it's short-lived, so you need to work quickly, but it's worth pursuing.
And what are your impressions of the festival?
I love it. I love it. I think it's fantastic. It's just so nice to see an entire community. It's like when you come into a town of this size, as we did with The Year My Voice Broke in Braidwood, and you just get the sense that the entire town is embracing this process. Instead of one film shoot, though, in this case, they're embracing the idea of film and the film festival. And you just, you know, I'm just chatting to local people here who are so film literate, you know. It's just because every year this great festival rolls into town.
Richard, your film Stone Brothers opened the festival. What did that feel like to have your film opening the Dungog Film Festival?
Well, I felt pretty flash, like a Paris end of the small town, if you like. It was bloody fantastic because here I am showing an Indigenous subject and content film, a comedy, at an All-Australian Film Festival, and being the star attraction the film was for the opening night. So I was pretty proud.
Now, you've done Cannes.
Yep.
I don't know whether you've done Sundance, but how do they compare with Dungog?
Well, you know, over in Cannes, they're pretty flash and they've got all the money and there's everything there, but there's something more challenging about showing your film on your home turf. And so I was proud to be at Cannes, but I think I was pretty rapt to be here.
Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here.
Louise, you're a school teacher in the town. What's been happening? What's been the legacy over the last 3 years of the festival?
Well, we had a lot of filmmaking happening in the town. The kids have got involved in making a film with Adobe, and we've had workshops, and we've actually got a film in the festival this year. But also kids are volunteering, and we've had a parade and a lot of things happening in the town, for sure.
Tell us a little bit about the film that you've made.
Well, it's been a bit of a process. We started with the script writing team. Everybody got a little part. Then we went into making the movie, and a lot of the shooting was actually done in one day. And we also then went into the editing.
What did you get out of the whole project, you girls?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, just a lot of fun for us.
It was a good experience to be like behind the scenes and see how it all works.
I know for a dead set certain fact that Dungog High is going to be visited by 3 of the biggest, most famous celebrities ever. I mean, this is bigger than Hugo Weaving and Angry Anderson put together. Take a look at this.
We learn a lot making the film. You know, every time you look at a film now, every time we look at a film, we see all the decisions that the directors have made and the editors have made, and you know, you can't help but, you know, build your skills in that direction. So, yeah, we have ambitions for a different type of film maybe for next year.
Before the festival came along, did you have aspirations of getting into the movie business?
We always did, but it's good to see there's a lot of other roles that you can have instead of just being in front of the camera and being the main person in the star of the movie.
Yeah, like there's lots of helpers around that make the movie like what it is, so.
Being part of the crew.
What do you think it is about the festival that is working so well for you?
I think it's because we're outside of the country and we offer something completely unique. I think it's the fact that we're celebrating Australian films as well, and I think people are actually really proud of our culture. We're really proud of what we're doing here, and Australians are getting together to say, yes, we love Aussie films and we want to get behind them.
I think the great thing about this festival is that it is just an Australian festival, and it's actually wonderful. You know, I get a wonderful sense of pride coming here.
Actor Aidan Young returns to the festival this year to present his latest film, the colonial drama Lucky Country. How do you think the audience here at Dungog's going to respond to the film?
Well, it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, my connection with Dungog is that my grandmother was born here. And so when I think of that, she was born in 1908, and I think of her, you know, in a similar period, just experiencing what the characters in the film must have gone through to a degree. And I don't know, I think there's a sort of sense of isolation in the film that I think a lot of people in this area are going to recognize.
Everything all right, Tom? With the farm? With your dad?
I suppose.
The festival, to my mind, makes a statement about Australia. It supports the regions and the rural areas, which we need to do, and it also makes a statement about the Australian film industry. We need to start marketing our films to ourselves, and as a country, we need to be more proud of what we do in the cinemas. There's so much talent there. There's so many wonderful, brilliant stories, and Australia, we claim them, but we should be claiming them harder.